Welcome to the dark side of gaming. As we gear up for another year of thrilling gameplay, there are some new titles on the horizon that are set to push the boundaries of darkness and take players on a spine-chilling journey. From twisted storylines to gut-wrenching visuals, these are the 8 darkest video games of 2023 that will have you on the edge of your seat. But before we dive in, a quick word of warning. These games are not for the faint of heart. Without further ado, let's take a look at the games that are set to haunt our dreams in 2023. Number 8. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Based on the extreme 1974 horror classic of the same name, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the darkest new movie-based video games. While embarking on a terrifying journey, horror fans will have another opportunity to encounter Leatherface. Players will be able to confront and attempt to escape the attacks of the chainsaw-wielding maniac thanks to this asymmetrical horror experience. With stunning visuals, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre immerses players in the infamous deserted house from the original film, where they must figure out how to escape and live. Number 7. Ad Infinitum. The upcoming World War I horror game Ad Infinitum, from Berlin-based Decade, aims to remain realistic. At least as realistic as a scary game can be. You play a German soldier in this World War I game, which is set in the German and French trenches. To be more exact, you assume the role of a German soldier who survived World War I and experienced post-traumatic stress disorder. That is at least how I interpret it. However, the layout of the area I was able to explore and the developers' descriptions of other things undoubtedly mirror this, emphasizing a protagonist whose reality is obscured. Number 6. Sons of the Forest. For horror fans looking for new games set in the woods and wanting to embark on a dangerous journey, Sons of the Forest is a great option. Players will be able to tour an isolated and terrifying island, while looking for a missing billionaire thanks to this early access survival horror game. This brand new cooperative survival horror game looks to be one of the darkest and most gruesome titles of 2023. Along with exploring the game's chilling and violent open world, players will also be able to battle the game's terrifying enemies with their friends while crafting, building, and attempting to escape the attacks of the game's terrifying cannibals. Number 5. Layers of Fear 3. The Layers of Fear titles are famous for being among the most mind-bending psychological horror games ever made, and the third installment in the series, Layers of Fears, will send players on a brand new spooky journey. While completely immersed in a haunting story, players will have the opportunity to explore a world with a sinister atmosphere. This well-known series of psychological horror games featured some of the darkest video games with original narratives that probe an artist's disturbed mind. It's a fantastic option for gamers of all skill levels who want to try a psychological horror narrative-focused experience with gorgeous design and intricate tales that unravel across many generations.
I want out!
Number 4. Dead Space. Fans of the classic survival horror game Dead Space could also relive their beloved narrative while getting lost in the game's action-packed setting. It's one of the most dark space-themed games, immersing players completely while also bringing them on a thrilling journey. Fans of sci-fi shooter games should consider playing Dead Space because it puts players in the role of Isaac, a young engineer who must solve a terrifying riddle, while also fending off attacks from terrifying monsters on a hauntingly beautiful empty spaceship. Players will get to tour every uncanny corner of the USG Ishimura as they look for the ship's sinister secrets. Number 3. Alan Wake 2. One of the darkest times new photorealistic horror games, Alan Wake 2 is set to put players in a dramatic yet horrible world where they can further investigate the dark place. Horror game fans have been eagerly awaiting the Alan Wake sequel to embark on another mind-bending journey with their favorite fictional author. Players will be able to engage on a brand new survival horror adventure and take in a dark mystery tale with psychological horror elements thanks to Alan Wake 2. Players will have the opportunity to explore a brand new terrifying story that will undoubtedly give them nightmares.
Alive. This story is a monster. And monsters wear many faces.
Number 2. Routine. Routine, a long-awaited sci-fi horror game, will also be released in 2023. Players will be able to fully immerse themselves in a violent yet immersive world while exploring the intricate abandoned lunar base thanks to this first-person psychological horror game. Regular players will have the opportunity to investigate a dangerous and realistic world, engage in brutal combat, and unravel a mystery that contributed to the destruction of the lunar station. Players looking for new cinematic games that will immerse them in a grim and perilous sci-fi world should consider Routine. Number 1. Silent Hill 2. With a horrifying killer and a darkly atmospheric world, the Silent Hill 2 remake is one of the most awaited horror titles of 2023. While once again assuming the role of James, the grief-stricken widow, players get to revisit one of the spookiest haunted houses in video games. With even more stunning visuals and sounds that will make their experience much more immersive, gamers will get to relive this chilling, psychological horror adventure. Along the way, players will encounter monsters like Pyramid Head and also solve a sinister and heartbreaking mystery unmatched by any other.
I know what you are. I know why I needed you.
Well, there you have it. The 8 darkest video games of 2023 that are sure to give you a run for your money. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or just starting out, these titles will test your limits and leave you questioning your sanity. From the twisted minds of game developers to the immersive graphics and spine-tingling soundtracks, these games are a true masterpiece of horror and suspense.